Hi, I'm Chef Tomm. I'm a professional chef. I've trained all over the world. I've learned all kinds of culinary secrets, and now I'm going to teach them to you. In this episode, we're going to make Italian gnocchi. Gnocchi can be made with a lot of things. It can be made with potatoes, it can be made with bread, it can be ricotta, but today we're going to do potato gnocchi. Traditionally, when you do this gnocchi, it's made with Yukon Gold potatoes, but today we're going to use russet potatoes. Let's get started. So to start, you want to wash the potatoes off. Get all the dirt, anything that's on them off. You want to take these guys, you want to fork them. Now, forking these guys will let the steam escape, and that's very important. Some people will take the potatoes and they'll boil them. There's different ideas on that. Pretty much my philosophy on gnocchi is you start dry because you want to end up with a dry product. You don't want too much water in there, and it works out. I find it works at the best, but you know, different people, different ideas. As long as it works out, be great. Okay. So now once these are all stabbed up, I want to put these in the oven, probably for about an hour at like 350, 375. We want to make sure these are soft. So here we go. Now that the potatoes in the oven, we want to make a nice quick and easy marinara sauce. So extra virgin olive oil. What we want to do is we want to sweat out our onions and our garlic. Sweating them kind of releases the flavor, gives a little more gentleness to the onions and the garlic. What you're looking for to make sure they're properly sweated is the onions start turning translucent. Now, you can go ahead and start throwing everything at one time, but you know, when we talk about layering of flavors, you're not getting a whole lot of layering flavors. It'll be very one-dimensional, so let the onions cook down a little bit, be a nicer taste. Now that the onions are translucent, we want to add our tomato sauce. This is pretty much just chopped tomatoes. And what you want to do is stir this around, get everything nice and mixed in. I want to let that sit for about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. Now, a quick note on this, if you're using dry basil and say dry oregano, you want to put them in now. Since we're using fresh oregano, fresh basil, we'll put that in at the end. If you put the fresh stuff in the beginning, it still tastes okay, but it'll end up overcooking. It'll actually turn black and not such a good appearance, so let those wait to the end. Let's check on the potatoes. So the potatoes have been there for about an hour right now, and I give them a quick touch. They're kind of nice and soft. That's exactly what I want them to be. Now, working with these potatoes, you gotta work really quick in the beginning. So what you want to do is put it in your hand, and you want to actually take the skin off. Peel this off, and you only want to do one at a time, or if you have some people over, have one person do the potato and one person put it through the sieve. I'm going to start putting the potato into there. So, get the potato in there, you want to mash it through the sieve. If you don't have a sieve, mash it like you would normally mash potatoes, or put it through rice, whatever you have. It'll work fine. You know, if you're doing it at home, you have a couple lumps in there. It's not gonna be in the day. One thing I do tell you to do is after you put it all the way through the sieve, let it cool down. So you don't have to work when it's so hot, so you don't burn your hands. The reason why you want to put the potatoes in there when they're still smoking hot is because, as you see, the potatoes come through, they're light and airy. If you let them go a little bit further, sometimes when they cool down, they tend to get a little bit gummy, and that will turn into kind of a gummy gnocchi. I'm sure you guys have had gnocchi before. When you eat it, it sits on your stomach like a torpedo, just sits there like a solid rock, and you don't really want that to happen. So again, push this through here, one potato at a time. Now that we have the potato all set, let's start making the gnocchi. So gnocchi is very easy to make. You want to do is take your egg yolks, put these guys in here, and you want to mix it all up. Gets a little bit messy, but it'll be worth it. This is a recipe I actually learned in Italy when I was working in Tuscany. So this is the authentic recipe from that part. But of course, when you do anything, you know, everyone's got their own recipe, different ideas on it. So, but either way, this is a fantastic recipe, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, so now that I have the egg really incorporated into the potato, what I want to do is I want to start adding flour. What the flour is going to do is kind of pull everything together. The eggs are kind of using as a binder also, but the flour is really going to pull this together. And you know, tell how much flour you need. There's a couple ways to check it. One way is the dough actually turn tacky, not sticky like in the pizza episode. And the second way is the ultimate way. You cook a little piece. I now have a decent consistency on the gnocchi, so I'm going to do is put a little seasoning to this. So get some Parmesan cheese in there. You don't have to put Parmesan cheese in there. That's something I like to do. I like the flavor of it. Little black pepper, little salt. You know, you can put anything in there you want. This is just a really basic idea. A little more cheese. Cheese is always good. A little tacky. A little more flour into this guy, and I think we're ready to go. Okay, so now I'm gonna give it a little test. So what I want to do is take a little piece of this off, and I want to roll it out. So once I roll it out, I want to fork it. Now when you fork it, what you want to do is you want to have the sticky sides exposed on the fork, and the side that has the flour, nah. And I'll show what that means now. When you go to roll this guy, it's a nice, easy roll right off the back of the fork. And what I'm actually doing, I'll do this, see if I can do this real slow. And I'm actually keeping my thumb in the same spot. I'm creating the divot here and the tine marks there. So now we have some really beautiful looking gnocchi. Now let's chuck it in the water. So here's the gnocchi right out of the freezer. A note on this, you always want to keep the gnocchi in your freezer. You don't want to sit in the refrigerator any period of time, because what happens is there's a lot of moisture in the refrigerator, and it'll start coming onto it and start making it really gummy. So don't do that. So let's finish this dish off. So take my gnocchi. Drop those guys down. Finishing dish is pretty easy. What I want to do is take some of our tomato sauce, get into our saute pan. One of the things with this gnocchi, you want to have as much of the sauce flavor into it as possible. So even though gnocchi is done right now, we're putting the sauce, let the flavors melt a little bit together there. So get it covered nice with sauce and let that sit for a couple minutes. I like to finish this with a little bit of fresh mozzarella. This is actually one of my favorite ways to eat this. Give it a quick toss. You just want to get the mozzarella cheese a little bit warm. Now that the cheese is beginning to get soft a little bit, I want to plate this up. We'll fill it up. Nice big bowl of gnocchi. Some fresh herbs on top.